7, 6, 5, 4.
And it's game time. X5 here. I got Facial by my side today. We're going to be casting this Week 3 MLUT matchup of Team Big versus 7th Degree Murder. And this will be the first map we see. This is going to be Team Fro or Team 7th Degree's pick.
Yeah, and it looks like Red was only going to send one in on offense for that quick grab, while Blue was sending all three of theirs in.
Yeah, that one ends real quick as DC smashes that one down. Let's go ahead and view this amp in mid. This may give us a little bit of an insight to see who's going to be fighting these mid battles. Of course, you have Blimpo on it, and Bob loses that fight to Blimpo. Let's go catch up with him and see if he pushes that all the way in on offense.
That was a really nice move by Blimpo coming in from behind Bob, where Bob was spamming those shot combos.
Yeah, it looks like Blimpo is going to be doing what we expect, waiting for power-ups and then going in and harassing the defense. So you see him taking his time, waiting for his flag carriers to get in position. Actually grabs himself, and he's going to have to frag his way out to mid now. He's going to get there down to 7 health, needs someone to pick up this flag. He's going to go down pretty quickly. Actually gets a kill there.
And for the blue team, you actually are going to see DC playing on-flag defense, which is a little bit unorthodox for him. And Nanum looks like he's going to be playing 50/shock area.
Oh, blue team was set, coming in their 50 in really good position. But both of their cover went ahead of the flag carrier. He got killed and taken down from behind, and nobody was there for the pickup. Vincent's actually running the flag right now. I'm not sure if that was just a transition move or if he's actually planning on doing that. Let's watch red base right now as we actually have HV on the flag, so I guess Vengeance will be running offense. HV back on the flag, and Dre pushing up to 50.
Fro actually took the second 100 of the map, so he's going to head on offense with that, hopefully make a flag run.
Yeah, we're seeing a drop back now by red. They have 3 in their base right now as Vengeance, Dre, and HV back in their flag room to help neutralize that 100 armor as it comes in. And Corky's got it. He's the only one left, already down to 59 health. Any good shot's going to take him out. He goes down at the 50 armor. Not much happens there. Did hear the amp taken.
Yep, Bob did grab the amp with no contention from the blue team.
He's got 50 armor too, so he's going to be in good position. Oh, DC with some nice prediction combos, and then LG follows it up and takes him out instantly.
It does actually look like Bob is playing more of a traditional mid-roll, and I actually haven't really seen Blimpo playing the opposite side of that, so maybe Red Team's the one going for the 2-1-2 setup.
Yeah, it could be. Of course, Blimpo is one of those players who's very comfortable switching back and forth. So we see Fro being the only one to contest this 100 armor. It looks like Red picked it up.
I think Bob was able to take that one.
So Vengeance is kind of dancing around inside blue base. I think he may have just been basically distracting. Meanwhile, Blimpo getting all the way back into his own 50 armor. This is trouble for the red team as blue gets past all of the red defense. So the last people with the shot on him are going to be right there. They're able to get that return at the very last second. Once you get inside that doorway, you're pretty much home free on this map.
Yeah, that was a dangerous situation there.
And now I'm spectating DC, and you see the downside of playing. Wow. Well, I was about to say the downside of playing a mid-heavy offense is that the defense gets really stacked in their base. DC
Bob actually has forward cover coming through mid right now. We're coming into his 50.
Yeah, he's going to go down, and they're able to get that return somehow. Blimpo is actually still in red base, so I think what happened is they just lost track of him and said, hey, we might as well get our flag across while we're waiting for him to go out. Not actually a bad move, especially on a map with a complex base like this.
And it looks like Xavier actually took the amp that time, and I think you're right. That was a transitional game where they just returned the flag, they had everybody there, and it was one of those, hell, why not? Let's just grab it and get it out.
Yeah, especially if you know that your flag is still in your base. Sometimes you're better off just cleaning up behind the flag carrier and then all dropping back into your base and compressing down to try to take care of that flag runner. You saw Xavier actually pick up that amp, not really do much with it. I'm going to spectate DC for a little while so we can watch some of this defense. Just about 5 minutes into this game, and a couple of good opportunities coming in, but nothing really too dangerous. We haven't seen any flags get into their flag room yet.
Yeah, the red team is a really big fan of sending one guy in to distract. The other guy comes in from the other side, grabs it, pistons, and they always try to go out 50 so far. So we'll see if they have to switch that up as the game progresses to try to get anywhere.
Yeah, V getting a frag, getting his way out to mid. He has cover waiting for him. Blue team is waiting on 100 armor, so their defense is going to need to push up to try to give him some cover, or they're going to be outnumbered. They get a nice pickup by Bob. Defense pushes up. You see Dre there getting a kill. He still has 3 blue in between him and his own base, but he can be patient. He has plenty of room to work with. Gets in that door. They need one more pickup here, and they could have this. It goes to HV. He's still got plenty of health. However, they're able to get a grab in the back end, so they're going to need to defend this base and get it all cleared out. HV down to 52 health, no armor. It picks up a health pack. Up top, Defender kills himself. He's still got 2 people on him, though. He's going to go down real fast here. 3 on him. That's going to get returned in midair. Meanwhile, Corky's out in mid as the red team was so concerned with getting that cover and clearing their base, they forgot to get their flag back. Corky's back in his 50 now. He can actually piss into his base and take the lead here if he can get in front. He's got 16 health, jumps all the way back to his flag stand. Wow, what a turnaround right there.
That was a crazy turn of events, and what's even better for Fro's team is the fact that when that flag was all the way in their base, 100 shield was up for 20 plus seconds. Fro actually took it, went on return with it, so they should have complete time of that, and Bob's team should be totally lost.
Yeah, they're going to need to be listening for that. The advantage to this map is the 100 armor is only slightly out of your way if you're trying to take your natural route across mid. And I think I just heard it taken again, if I'm not mistaken.
It was just taken just now. I think Blimpo is actually the one to take it. And you are seeing Blimpo not playing a mid, and actually neither is Bob anymore. It looks like they've both kind of morphed into playing traditional offensive flag runners.
I actually see Blimpo there grabbing that flag with a nice pistons to get himself out to mid. He knows he has more health in the defense, so he's going to run with minigun. Down to 44 health. Actually runs into an enemy flag carrier in mid. They're both dueling. Blue wins that duel. They're coming back towards their 50. Dodges over those rockets. Only 6 health. Anything will kill him. Double kill on the flag, but Corky with a pickup. And, yeah, a map like we say, Pistola, traditionally you see a heavy mid-roll in there. Not seeing it from both teams, so we're seeing a lot of these flags moving pretty quickly here.
Yeah, and that was another situation where just the map is so long that, one guy to beat, and it caused enough of a delay for the team to catch up and get that return. And Amp's actually taken by, is that Blimpo?
Let me see if I can catch up with that.
It was somebody
looks like Blimpo up top with it, distracting the D, or rather killing the D. A nice double kill. He's on a spree now. Gets taken out, though, as Red has been dropping back a lot whenever the Blue keeps their flag moving. But Blue having the lead, they can use that to their advantage. And Fro is still just dancing around a base. This is the kind of base that has, or the kind of map where there's so much health in the base. Even just dancing around an enemy base, if the enemy defense goes out to mid to just cut you off, you can get yourself completely stacked by running around and picking up their health files.
Absolutely. If you don't have an offense that's consistently grabbing that flag and getting it off the stand, it makes it really hard to beat a solid fragging defense because they can stack up on vials and 50 shield.
Yep, the advantage here to both of these teams in that regard is that they both have heavy fragging offenses. I mean, we saw DC there, so as Blimpo takes 100. We saw DC earlier up to 190-something health and end up getting blasted by Bob. This actually lends itself to, like I say, both of the strengths of the offense and the defenses of these teams. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. As Blimpo takes a huge combo, was completely stacked, and that disappears instantly. He is going to get out that 50 armor, though, so he's going to need to pull up that shield. However, Bob is there to cut him off at the 100 armor. Takes him out. Going to go down, though, and Quirky not able to get that pickup.
Amp is actually up right now.
Min just dancing around. Gets taken out by DC, who's been doing a good job with his prediction combos we've seen so far.
I think Bob actually was able to pick up that amp, but I think he was taken out by a trip rock.
Yeah, he's back in his own base, so we're gonna switch back and watch the red base here, and just see how HV is dealing with this. Yeah, it looks like Dre is gonna be the 50 armor exit defender while we have HV on the flag.
Bob actually just took the 100 shield uncontested, so.
Yeah, Blimpo and Fro are in. They're gonna frag their way out like we expect them to do. You're seeing Blimpo switch up top, go right back to 50, trying to switch up the defense. He has plenty of cover waiting on him. So what you're seeing there is Blue Team doing a good job of communicating where they're going ahead of time. That way their cover can get there and be ready for a pickup, recover, whatever's needed. Meanwhile, Red Team...
Bob grabs the flag with 100 health, 125 health, 100 shield, does a little delay run, waits for his cover to get in there, and he's still kind of dancing around towards shock side, trying to leave out that minigun.
Yeah, he takes a flak to the face, though, and that ends quickly. Blue Team's defense is doing a good job of pursuit here. This isn't a hard map to lose track of the flag carrier temporarily. Sometimes they can sneak out on you. I'm actually going to watch DC. He's shooting a lot of prediction combos around. Some might call it spam. I don't know how much. One thing we don't see spectators from spectator view is how much he's using his translocator camera to actually peek ahead and kind of see where people are coming in. But he's done a lot of damage. Sorry, go on.
Nanum actually was able to kill off 2 red team members and take that amp. So he actually pushed up from his defensive position to mid to get that power up back under control for his team.
And that's a smart move on this map. It's not difficult. You can drop a translocator back in base, push up, and since there's only 2 entrances into the base itself, you can keep tabs on who's coming in and out of your base.
Yeah, definitely. He's playing that 50-side defense, so he's already pushed up.
Oh, beautiful close. Cover by Red. He goes out to mid, and he has 2 people shooting combos at that door. Takes out DC before he can get a shot out. Bob's back in his 50 armor. They can tie this up. I think all Blue is behind him. He can't piss into his stand, though, because he's out of health. No one's going to beat him there. He gets taken out. They need to pick this up, and a return on the stand by Corky, the last man there. That is a miscue by Red. They had 2 people right there. Wow, one step away.
Yeah, when your offense is bringing that flag in and they're yelling "close off the doors," they're not talking about just the door you came in. You got to watch all of them.
Yeah, and I mean, to the defense's credit, they were on the flag. They weren't out in mid doing anything silly. They were right in position. That flag dropped right in between him. And credit Corky, he was able to thread the needle, jump right in between them, and return it in front of them.
And it was a ballsy move by Corky, too, because that's a big gamble. I mean, he did not take the most direct route to that flag to get that return. He would have had to have gone through minigun all the way up through LG to try to get that return. Yes. We're actually going to see red inside their 50 shield rather now.
Yeah, they had a lot of kills to get there. Couldn't quite do it. However, their team is already there waiting for Blimpo, so they're going to seal him off. Nope, they're not. Here comes the pickup. Another pickup. So Blue, there you go. Not turning into anything, but Blue already proving to be getting the advantage here as far as picking up their flags when it's dropped. As Nandem picks up that amp again on defense.
Yeah, he was taken out, but he did grab that amp again.
Oh, he's still got it in their base. Now he's taken out. But actually on that run, we did see Xavier with a nice, for red team, a nice mid-air pickup there. So, both teams doing a good job of that, but I think Blue right now has the advantage as far as sticking to their flag carrier, and again, that could come down to communication. It's so much easier to get pickups when you know where your flag carrier is going before he goes there. See, Fro.
You've noticed the offense has actually kind of stalled out a little bit after those dramatic returns here recently. So I think the teams are kind of stacking up, trying to get back control of those power-ups, and we should see a flurry of offense again here pretty quick.
Yeah, often what happens is during those transitional periods, you tend to lose track of power-ups, and so a lot of teams will want to sort of calm down, grab a couple breaths, and try to make sure they can keep tabs on that so they don't just completely lose track in all the chaos. Meanwhile, Blimpo sneaks out minigun. Red team has no idea where he is. He's going to piston towards his 50. Bob finally sees him. They have two red in front of them. Their offense is all over blue base. They're doing a good job of controlling that, but they're just going to collapse down on that flag. Probably a good move by red, as blue team was pushed back to their flag by their offense, and then their offense drops back at the last second to cut out the flag carrier.
Amp is up as that defender, as they actually had him sandwiched pretty well. Picked up by blue team.
Yep, Blimpo grabs that one. I'm going to get a camera on him. So he gets one kill, but he's taken down to 12 health. Nice double kill. He's going to wait for his team to grab, probably, because he doesn't want to grab this with Amp. Another kill coming out. So Blimpo going to be on a spree soon. There it goes. Trying to frag his way out of mid. Prediction combo is not going to get him, but they're going to get out to mid right now, and so Fro's going to head to 100. Red team is probably cutting him off. There's the cutoff. They're going to have to fight their way through, and this is a situation where both teams are at their best. And it's just a matter of who can get these pickups and who can get these kills. I'm going to watch. There you go. You see Bob sneaking out minigun side, trying to do exactly what we saw blue team do. Catch him in transition, sneak out the back door, and maybe get a rebound cap. Blue's all over it, though, as Blimpo actually runs right over to him. Blimpo left all alone for a second. Oh, there's the defense. So blue team now doing a good job sticking near their flag carrier, not getting caught up in trying to get their flag back. Everyone's playing their role.
Blimpo actually had a really fantastic pickup on that run. I think it was the second or third pickup of the run that he was able to pull right in front of the defender who was trailing to it.
Yeah, meanwhile, Red has been able to frag their way all the way back to base. Big V with 50 armor, and he's going to stack up on Vials, so looking pretty good for getting set up here. Just under 7 minutes left. I wouldn't say this standoff is make or break, but they definitely need to convert this one. Uh-oh. Goes down with the flag ball. That gets returned. Blimpo not in position to grab. You would think red team, or to cap, red team not able to sneak in. I don't know if they were all dead or what, but they're in no position to make a grab there. So blue goes up by 2 with 6.5 minutes left, and that's trouble.
Vengeance actually has the amp on offense now, so I think you're going to see red try to stack and play really aggressive. See if they can try to. Actually, he's taken down pretty quickly.
Yeah, Bob is waiting on 100 armor. And one thing that you'll see on this map is whoever's playing that... Ooh, everybody dies on 100. Quirky actually picks it up. I think he took some damage, though, so that's pretty well negated. You see Dre chasing it back to base. And Dre is really the key person that's going to be needing to push up here. What you're going to see is the 50 armor defense can push really far out to mid and basically play as a true mid role there. And basically turn around and try to cut off flag carriers instead of trying to stop them on the way into their base. And you're conceding defense for the sake of offense. On a map like this, you may need to do that. As we see some nice combos coming. He actually kills himself with a combo. And that allows Blimpo to get this pickup and come in his zone 50. But again, red team at this point has to be happy if they can just get a flag standoff going. They just need to get this red flag or blue flag across the map. They're not doing it right now. Blue's walking right back to their base. And sometimes you see that towards the end of games whenever you have to stretch and push extra offense, leaves your defense a little bit vulnerable.
Yeah, definitely. I think they had to make a choice. It was either, concede the loss or try to make a change real quick and see if you could pull something off with it. Obviously, it didn't work out, and Blue actually just took the amp. I think it was Blimpo. But the interesting thing is you'll hear CTF players constantly say that nets don't win games. There's no point net whoring. I mean, nets can help you win games, though, and we're clearly seeing that by Bob's team as you see negatives the whole way down the scoreboard.
Yeah, I was just noticing that too, and like I mentioned sometimes in pickup games that I've casted, it's not necessarily how many kills you get, it's getting the key kills, it's getting the important kills. But if your team is getting significantly more kills, you're going to be more likely to get those important kills. As you see a fourth cap coming across, just trying to secure this one, maybe demoralize Team Big a little bit, make sure they don't get any thoughts of coming back and winning their map.
Well, I think cap differential also is one of the tie-breaking aspects, so it doesn't hurt to get a few extra ones when you can.
Oh wow, Blimpo with a nice 100 steal right there, right in front of red team. But yeah, that's a good point. I believe captain differential is one of those lower down tier tiebreakers. So it is a tiebreaker nonetheless. It could in theory count at some point. So you might as well keep playing until the ending. I don't know, whistle or announcer until it's not over until the sexy lady announces. How about that?
Fair enough.
I'm going to pour through some of these stats here. I get the sense that the power-ups are pretty well contested on the whole. However, I thought I saw Blue being more successful at picking them up. Certainly, Blimpo's got 4 amps, and excuse me, that's his 5th amp he just took. 5 amps and 500 armors. And 7 more 100 armors going to Fro. So between those two, they've already got the majority of the 100 armors coming out there. Bob, of course, doing a good job, getting 3 double damage, 300 armors. And definitely what we saw from Blimpo was a lot of the power-ups that he was getting, he was doing a good job of avoiding having them neutralized. Like, he would grab amp or 100 armor and run away rather than fighting in mid. That way he could make sure that they didn't turn around and just neutralize him immediately. We saw him in the base with 100 armor, in the base with amp, turning it on the defense, whereas I think the red team's power-ups a lot of times didn't get to go very far. And I think you talk about the nets and the important kills, and I think that's another aspect of it. Is on a mid-heavy map like this, net is part of your strategy, and so if you can outkill the other team, you're sort of dictating where the battles are taking place. And certainly we saw the red team come very, very close to capping a couple times there, and they lost that rebound cap, and that put them. Well, actually, it kept them down by 1 cap, and then they lost that standoff, and that put them down 2-0. And I think that was really at that point where they had to go extra offense, and that pretty much dictated the rest of the map right there.
Yeah, and I think that also the blue team played a nice aggressive, fast-paced offense that was constantly in there and grabbing. Looking through the numbers, I mean, right now Corky's sitting with 21 flag touches. I know Blimpo's sitting right around 14 or 15. I mean, that's a lot in a map.
Yeah, especially it's important. Like I mentioned on this map before, if you play too passively, in-base D on this map can very easily end up getting 50 armor and 199 health all the time. And that makes it almost impossible to get in and get out clean. It makes you have to take 2 or 3 waves of attackers to get them, whittle them down, and then frag your way out. But whenever you can constantly keep the pressure on, it doesn't let them do that. And in fact, when it gets them moving, you can actually let your offensive players sometimes sneak in and grab those vials and use them against the defense rather than letting the defense get stacked. And that can be very, very important. This is one of those maps where aggression for the sake of aggression can actually help you, even if you're not getting grabs the whole time.
Yeah, I'm tallying up the totals here, and you're looking at a combined 50 flag touches between all of the blue team. I mean, that just alone has to keep the defense on its toes and out of the flag room, so that's going to lend itself to being successful.
Yeah, as opposed to, say, I didn't watch red team's defense too much. I saw a little bit of blue teams, and they were often stacked. They were often 150 plus health, and some obviously getting the 50 armor from time to time. I see Dre there with a nice little double kill. Not gonna do anything, but as he body blocks right afterwards. So the red team trying to make something come out of this. They had some good opportunities. They got past the halfway point in mid quite a few times, but they just weren't able to convert the chances they got. And again, we saw that rebound cap, which just demoralizes you, and then you lose that standoff afterwards. And those, I think, are really the key plays of this game.
Yeah, absolutely. Momentum is a hell of a drug.
I will say this though. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say that, looking at red team stats, the highest grabbing player on that team was actually Big V, who we were both pretty confident was going to be a defensive player, and he actually had 14 flag pulls, and he was the highest on that team. So that just kind of shows a contrast in play styles there.
Yeah, and I don't know what's going on inside their team speak. I don't know all of these players all that well, so you never know what someone's comfort level might be on various maps, but certainly I expected to see Xavier being the primary offensive runner, and it'll be interesting to see again what map they choose next, because as we mentioned, I think they share a lot of the same strengths as 7th Degree, and certainly this was an even match until they had to push forward. But it'll be interesting to see if they switch up positions and which map they choose.